Alright, today we're going to be playing some Silence Priest with Rally. So I kind of wanted to play this deck anyway, because Rally hits both Arcane Watcher and Ancient Watcher, which seems pretty good for Silence Priest. But also, with the announcement of the core set, it looks like Ancient Watcher is going to be leaving Standard. So I thought it would be a fitting send-off for my boy Ancient Watcher. On top of Rally, Madness at the Darkmoon Faire did give this deck some other tools. We got Showstopper, which is a 2-mana 3/2 that Death Rattle silences all minions. That's pretty good with our Watchers. And as a 2-drop, sometimes Rally is going to give us both Showstopper and Arcane Watcher, which is pretty convenient. And then the other notable silence card we got is the Nameless one. So, of course, we are normally going to want to silence some big impressive thing the opponent has, but we can also just silence our own Arcane Watcher or whatever with this thing. Other than that, I think the deck is pretty straightforward. We play silence stuff, we play some minions to fill up the rally slots, and we try to beat the opponent to death with some Watchers.
Raw power is no substitute for true strength.
We got a couple res cards, but nothing to res. Alright, got ourselves an Ancient Watcher. So I can coin Ancient Watcher into Ancient Watcher, but I have no silences. So I don't know if I love that necessarily. But sure, why not? What else am I doing with the coin? I'm not coining out a Psyche Split onto a non-silence Ancient Watcher, right?
Aim for the wheel.
And I play so many silences in this deck that I'm pretty likely to draw into something. I hope. So, Dalaran Librarian is easily the best draw in my deck. But any of the silences are good. Alright, we're just gonna have to play this here. The Psycho Pump's pretty good. I was hoping a minion would have to be traded in, but not terrible. Man, how many silences do I have in the deck? 2 in Sleeping Soul, Nameless one. I have 9 silences in my deck. Wow, that was pretty lucky. You always trade off the Banthara there, right? Alright, there's an Unsleeping Soul. It's not super good here since my Watchers are weak, but it's probably good enough. That Fellfire Deadeye is pretty obnoxious and needs to die. Why is that 5/6 bigger than the stuff I'm playing? There's a nice Librarian. I hope Rally summons in order, because, yeah, that puts my Watchers next to each other. I'm getting pretty weak, but I have double Apotheosis in hand, so I don't think I'm too worried. I could probably die here, like, theoretically. Oh, that's not good. That's how I lose this game. That was the lethal. So I'm taking 6, my opponent needs 7. I don't know. I probably don't die from 13 here. And it's like really insane to go ahead and get this Apotheosis down. Then next turn I can play like another Apotheosis and a Psyche split. Or I can play like a minion that I draw. I don't know. Probably should have done some like specific breakpoint math right there, but whatever. It was also kind of annoying if you just value traded into my Mind Flayer, because I don't have a silence for the 5/6 that pops out. So I've seen a Warblades already. If my opponent had an I-Beam, I was dead here.
What?
I think I probably killed the 5/6 this turn. I don't think Il'gynoth can do too much here. Although I guess the Il'gynoth does hit for 4. But that is 1 less than the other thing hit for. And as long as I survive this turn, I definitely just win this game. Oh, this is definitely the card I die to, though. Oh, cool. That was a sketchy game.
Give me strength.
This is a really interesting hand. If my opponent's Zoo, then Mind Flayer card hits a 2-drop pretty often, and then like that's a full rally hand. How likely is my opponent to be Zoo at rank 1 diamond? I don't know, Rally is so insane, I think I'm just gonna keep it. Mind Flayer card is probably the sketchiest to keep in this hand, actually.
I greet you.
Blessings to you.
So I can corrupt this Fairground Fool with a Rally, but that's a little bit backwards. It at least works with the second Rally. Well, there's my 2-drop. Fuck it, let's go. And I've learned that Canrithot Ebonlock is pretty scary. You don't want to let the opponent play discounted Dark Glares and such, so we'll go ahead and kill it. So I talked about corrupting this thing, but I probably do just play it next turn if I don't hit anything. Anything would include Ancient Watcher, Dalaran Librarian, probably would not play a Showstopper. And then, of course, like 3-drops as well.
A little agony goes a long way.
Interesting turn 3. Okay.
There is so much untapped power in this world.
So maybe the opponent can really pop off next turn, I don't know. I think I don't really care about the death rattle in this thing at all, right? Because I have no demons. So yeah, like here I can play Showstopper. And like I might hit Showstopper off Rally instead of Canrithod, but like that doesn't really matter. Showstopper's not bad. Even though I'm not hitting Watchers. I'm really happy to see that discarded. I thought my opponent was gonna go like Canrathod, Dark Glare, Flame Imp nonsense this turn. So my rally is fully active, right? We'd probably just go ahead and play that. This board might be good enough to end the game, but if it's not, I'm pretty sure the second rally does. Although turn 5 could be Fairground Fool plus Power Word Feast. Either of those plays is extremely strong. If my opponent taps, I do just have Lethal with Feast.
I wonder.
But, I mean, there's also a good chance of like a Nightshade Matron or maybe another Soulfire or something.
A little agony goes a long way. Here for the tour?
Alright, 3 times 3 is 9, plus 4 is 13. Then we have this. Very nice.
Taranda versus Illidan. I will prove myself to you.
Raw power is no substitute for true strength.
Definitely toss on Sleeping Soul. Mind Flayer Karj. Is my opponent likely to give me a 2-drop for Mind Flayer Karj? That'd make my rally a lot better. I don't know, I probably can't keep rally with this hand. Try to hit some Watchers. Alright, Blade Master into Psychopomp is nice. Alright, so the first 2 turns sucked, but my 3 and 4 are about as good as they get. And even if the opponent doesn't kill my Blade Master, I at least can just play a second one. I think Demon Hunter is almost always killing my 3 mana 4/3, but I don't know, maybe not. Alright, so Mana Feeder Panthara plus Hero Power is going to be killing my Blade Master almost always, I think. Then we have turn 4 Psychopomp, turn 5 Blade Master Watcher. Seems pretty good. Alright, as long as the Blade Master dies, I don't really care how it's done. I have Power Word Feast to go with Injured Blade Master, but I think next turn I'm still looking at Watcher plus Blade Master almost always. I guess the dream is that somehow my opponent spends their whole turn killing this 4/7, but not the 4/1 that pops out. And then I can really use Power Word Feast. Wow. Really? I think I like Mind Flayer over Blade Master here. The Blade Master is just a 4/3 this turn. Mind Flayer Karj has more stats. I'm also a little bit worried that I'm getting AoE'd sometime soon.
Hide behind your servants. I will still find you.
That's fine, I guess. Seems pretty weak if anything. Unsleeping Soul. I was thinking that just yoinking that with a nameless one was probably pretty good. But Unsleeping Soul probably ends up being better.
Your turn to bleed.
Am I killing this 3-1? I don't really see any reason to. Let's just push damage.
My blades aren't just for show.
Should have traded off your cane.
Come closer. You can trust me. Hide behind your servants. I will still fight. Tyrande versus Tyrande.
You give me strength. The goddess is my shield.
Let's go Ancient Watcher into Showstopper. Sure, why not? Or I could go Ancient Watcher, Coin, and Sleeping Soul. Activate the Obelisk. Oh shit. My opponent's not going to give me something to trade the Showstopper into, so it's probably better to just go Watcher into Coin Soul. Psychopomp is always a welcome draw. I like Blade Master over Unsleeping Soul here. I'm not really in that big of a hurry to deal 4 damage, because it gives my opponent healing for the quest. So like, just waiting until next turn to play Unsleeping Soul is fine, and if my opponent kills this, wow. If my opponent had killed this, then I could have played Psychopomp. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So here we just play Psychopomp. I don't think I want to raise dead yet, because I would actually really like to raise dead Psychopomp. Here I might raise dead though, just because I don't really have stuff to play. It would be fine to Unsleeping Soul this injured Blade Master, but I think it's definitely just not as good as doing this. Next turn can be Unsleeping Soul, Coin, Fairground Fool, but I don't know, maybe that's just pretty good actually. I think this gets silenced. Silencing this is really good because it denies healing for the quest, it denies healing for him to avoid getting murdered, it gives him 1 less card to Defender to mass res. It's just good. So I'm pushing 15 here. Could play Apotheosis to push 2 more, or I could play Fairground Fool. If I play Fairground Fool, like going into turn 7, I'm worried about Soul Mirror. But like all my shit lives Soul Mirror anyway. I'd play it, they'd kill my Fairground Fool, they'd have a 3 health taunt. then I would just win. Another Hysteria could be annoying, but it's not that bad. I think Fairground Fool's just good here, unless I'm being really dumb and just totally spacing on a Priest AoE. Sure. Oh, that's annoying. So, Apotheosis lets me put 2 minions into it. It kills one. So let's say these 3 die. I value trade this. If both of those hit something that hasn't attacked yet, I don't have lethal. But I think I'm pretty likely to end up with lethal here. Oh wait, I definitely just... Oh wait, if it kills Showstopper, that's like really good for me, right? Killed this guy. Cool.